for some of you, of course, welcome to the city of Portsmouth. Portsmouth was a city in 1926. It sits on an island called Portsea Island. It's a proper island because it's got navigable water all the way around. So if you ever get a quiz question, what's the only professional football club that's not on the English mainland? You're in it. So, would you like to say a few words to start us off?
I'd love to, Mick. Thank you very much. On behalf of Portsmouth Football Club, can I welcome you all for joining us this afternoon. Delighted that you're all here. Yesterday, 29th of August, the South Stand celebrated its 100th birthday, 100 years old, and it's really stood the test of time. The boards that we are, I suppose, unveiling today, you can see them all there. Absolutely fantastic, and tell the story. And you know, football is very much about dreams, but it's also built on memories, and you can't have the dreams without the memories. And I'm so grateful to Pompey History Society for making sure that the history of the football club is preserved and cherished, for us to remember, but for generations to come. In particular, these boards, a really big thank you, perhaps a round of applause as well, to Mick, Colin and Michael Sanders, who have worked so hard to put these together. I think they deserve So as I said, the stand was opened 100 years ago. It was opened by John McKenna, who was then the president of the Football League, as it then was. It was opened against with a game against Middlesbrough. I won't go into the score. We'll leave that one to the imagination. But the stand, unlike many other stands of its kind, has stood the test of time. Yes, it's gone through several periods of time and turmoil and a little bit of trouble and decay, but it still stood the test of time. And I'm really proud that this stand now operates once again at a full 100% capacity, and it will be full today. I think I've commissioned Jason to take a panoramic photograph just before kick-off, so we can see that the city stand in all its glory, and it can be sort of really shared with everybody to see what it is. It's stood the test of time, and I'm so proud that it's one of the last left of its type in the country. And that's due to the architect. I'm delighted that his relatives are here today, Archibald Leach. Archibald Leach did so many stands across many different clubs across the country. Really famous ones, obviously everybody probably knows the cottage at Fulham, at Craven Cottage, the stands at Sheffield Wednesday, Everton, Glasgow Rangers, Aston Villa, the famous Trinity Road stand, which was sadly demolished in 2000. I used to drive past that stand when I worked in Birmingham for many years. And probably that was one of the ones that was very much his sort of hallmark in the way that it worked. But the South Stand now is probably about the last remaining stand of its kind operating in the professional leagues, with Everton's Goodison Park, obviously. Everton moving last year, although the stadium still stays for their women to play football in this season. So it's a key part of our heritage, the South Stand. As I said, delighted it's been restored to full capacity. Very grateful to our owner, Michael Eisner, who really believes in great architecture, restoring it and maintaining it. And it's his generosity that enabled us to fund it and bring it back up to full use again. And to Steve Cripps, who's with us, who oversaw the project and put it all together. So to Steve, PMC, and to Michael, a big thank you to them. There's lots of things as you come in. We've retained the cobbles that you see as you walked in today. The trusses are again a hallmark of Archibald Leach's work, covered by advertising boards before, all restored, and they're all now back open again. Really fantastic that they're there together as well. And the new TV gantry as well, the extended TV gantry, that's a nod to the eyebrow effect, which was probably common in a lot of top of the stands that Archibald Leach did, and again Steve and Michael worked to make sure that was properly brought back to make sure it works and is in keeping with the Leach design. So as I said, grateful and so glad and pleased that we've got the relatives of Archibald here today. Archibald was the architect, project manager back in 1925. So we've got Graham, David, Nat and Robbie, I think, with us today. Thank you for coming, and thank you as well for thank you to Archibald for giving us something that's so special and means so much to the city of Portsmouth. And yesterday, just in conclusion, we had the relatives of Bob Blythe. Bob Blythe was the chairman of the football club at the time, and he led the charge and he led the rallying round the directors to make sure this stand was built back in 1925. I think the club had talked about it for ages prior to then, as most football projects have done, probably still as we're going on with our North Stand, talking about it for a long time. But Bob got it done. And yesterday we went to the cemetery, we dedicated a headstone to Bob and his wife Isabella, and I'm so grateful to the family for inviting me to that service yesterday, and thank them for coming today, as without Bob, just the same way without Archibald, but without Bob, this stand wouldn't be here in the way that we see today. So very, very grateful to the family, they're with us today. So, as I said, really, really grateful to you all, to everybody. And as I said, we've got something really, really special now here to remember. Again, we can give future generations of supporters that come to Fratton Park something to understand and remember about the history of the football club. And as I said, so grateful to the Pompey History Society for the work they do to maintain this and make sure that generations of football fans to come really see Pompey in all its glory. Thank you very much.